So here's the situation. We will be picking up a car in about 48, maybe 36 hours. It's in 2 states over from us, Idaho. Is that 2 states over? More or less 2 states over from us. So we're going to be traveling on a long road trip. So before we can do that road trip, we have to get this car ready for it because we're going to be driving this to go get a U-Haul truck, which is right in Richfield where we live. And then we'll be taking the U-Haul truck to Idaho. What we need to do though is we're going to be fixing the headlights because there's lots of condensation in them. So we'll be pulling those out in the oven. Last time we did that, they were burnt. And then resealing those off
with our next mod, which is carbon fiber door handles. So the reason that I got these is because everything's carbon on this, and if you look at the weave, it's perfect. So the next thing that we're doing is a F1 brake light. On this car, it has a little tiny spot for a brake light, but they put a plastic cap. And whoever had this put a blue piece over it. It looks stupid. So we're gonna fix that, wire it up, and it's gonna be perfect. Do you have a knife?
Yeah.
Easy, do it. Jesus, buddy. So here's what it looks like. It's just a gloss black.
Wow.
And it lights up white in reverse and red when the brakes are on. It's perfect. Lights, camera, action.
So the next thing we have to unbox and install are these Perrin wing supports. It is basically stabilization, but mainly just for looks. They look amazing, and you kind of just pop them in place and go from there. We have this box, and then we have one other box, so 2 total, and then we'll be throwing those in.
We're also doing the front lip. We're gonna do it right now and get started. So I just pulled out the headlight. I was getting at an angle so I could undo the plug. Water starts draining everywhere. I thought that there was condensation, but turns out we have kind of a fishbowl going on. So,
oh, that's a lot of water in there.
There could literally be a fish living in there.
There will be.
Thank you. So now we need to take this thing apart. Hopefully it's not ruined. We might be buying new headlights, but we're gonna do our best to try to fix it. Dude, the other one might be worse. I think they need to go straight in the oven. That's it for the bumper. We had to take a couple days off, but we got the front lip on. The headlights are cleaned up now. I didn't reseal them because I realized that it has aftermarket bulbs that have fans built into them. So there wasn't really a way to reseal them, and that's pretty obvious that that was where the water's going in. So I ordered some new bulbs. So we're gonna seal them later, and now it's time to throw the bumper on and then move on to the back. Okay, so the bumper's in. We need to throw all the fasteners in up top and get all the metal back installed, but we're just gonna get that done really quick. Jay has to go to bed. But so far, we're pretty happy. I mean, I think that this lip was less than $100 and it looks really good. Now that the front's done, I got the car backed in. Now all I need to do is take off the rear bumper, switch out that light, and then take out the exhaust. It's gonna be perfect. And then while it's jacked up, there's a chance I might pull off the wheels, clean them, or build something with them. We'll see. Okay, seriously, I think that that was the last time that I'm ever taking off a bumper, because every single time I do, I find out that the car is a double salvage. And normally I don't care about double salvages. I actually think it's better because it means more work to do, but I would just like to know about it before I buy it. So my last STI, I took off the front bumper, found out that the car had hit a pole. This STI, I take off the rear bumper and find out that the car hit like a moose. I don't know, it's long. Maybe a big truck, Ram 1500, 3500, we don't know. I really don't think that this is a job for Cleveland. I don't think that he's hot enough to get the metal to bend enough, but we'll see. Now that the exhaust is out, you can see that this thing is pretty much just a straight pipe with one little resonator in the middle. and it's much thinner, so it's going to be a lot louder than the Cobb exhaust. At this point, the bumper's just about ready to go back on the car now that the new exhaust is installed. All I really need to do is this piece is just sitting in here for now. Oops. It slips right in and then has a bracket right there that bolts them in. And then the way that it hooks up is it just has all these wires. It's got 4 wires on here that are going to control the light. All I have to do is route them through the trunk up to the taillight, tap into the taillight, and then you'll get the running lights, the brake lights, and the reverse lights. So now that the light is installed, it looks flush on the outside, looks really good and blends in really well. But here's the other side. So there's 4 wires that are coming off. There's a wiring diagram there. And then I could just take like a multimeter, run the car, press the brakes and see what wires get voltage. But since all the wiring harnesses are going to be online, I'm just going to look it up, connect each wire to what it is, and it should work. So if you look on the car, the light's going to sit about right here, but there's no real opening to get in. So what I'm going to do is open up the trunk, take this plug out, poke a tiny hole through it right there, and then run all 4 wires to it. And then since it's on this side, I'm gonna run it up to that tail light, and then it'll all be good, sealed off from the elements, and no water will leak in. And there we go. Okay, so I'm just gonna put a little tiny cross action to this, or actually I don't even know if it's called a cross action. And then since this is gonna go this way, okay, so now that plug is installed, I can take the bumper, throw it on the car, and then just slide this forward until it connects to the car. Then I'm gonna run these wires up to the taillight, plug it in, it's gonna be perfect. So here's what I was talking about with the seal. Wires are going straight up, barely through a tiny hole in there. And then once I get this up, I can pull the wires through so it's all gonna be tight and perfect. And then gonna go right up under here and wire into the taillight. Okay, so I was digging into this headlight and I realized that someone put some aftermarket parts in here, and I just figured it would be easier to take it out, figure out the wiring harness, get all the wires connected, so I only have to do this once. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, check online, see which wire is which. I mean, there's 5 of them here and 4 of them here. So there's going to be a little bit of trial and error, but I'm going to get it hooked up right now and it should be good. So I just pulled the wiring harness out, and everything that I've seen online has different colors. For example, for the reverse light, it has a brown wire with a yellow stripe, but that's clearly not here anywhere. So I'm going to plug it in, get the electronics going on the car, put it into reverse, see what light comes on, tap into that wire, press the brakes, see what light comes on, and then just tap into wires as I go. At this point, I've got the 3rd brake light completely done. Everything works. But now that the car is jacked up, as you can see, I have white mud flaps. I don't think that they look good with the car, so I'm going to pull off the wheel, switch them out for a set of black ones. Okay, now that I have a clean surface in here, it's time to throw this new mud flap on. All I have to do is pull this one off, line it up to this, draw a line around the outside, cut it, and then bolt it on in the same spot. And I know that Jay's gonna be pissed at me for this, but... So that's 1 mud flap installed. I still have the other 3 to do, but I'm gonna throw the wheel back on and then get the other ones done. Also, something that I forgot to mention is I went and got these carbon fiber body decals. These 3 line up with this line right here, and then you have the STI logo as well, which goes right there. Okay, so now that this portion of the car is completely done, I'm just gonna go ahead and clean up the wheel, throw it back on, do the same exact thing on the other side with the mud flaps. And then in the next portion, we're gonna be starting up the car finally. I seriously have not heard this exhaust yet, so I'm really excited to hear how it sounds. And then we're gonna be taking this car to go get it tuned. But for now, this is it, and thank you for watching.